Ansary here. February 6th in the year 2024. I can feel my emotions building as we get closer and closer to the eclipse. Feeling just the feeling of tears down my face as I listen to a variety of songs. As I feel the pain right now in the world. As I acknowledge the pain within myself. And tap into things that need to be said. I got contacted by a military veteran recently who sent a donation. While there may have been other veterans that have sent donations in the past, nothing's really coming to memory though. I've been speaking about these things for a long time, and the idea that the military is being destroyed by design, that America is being destroyed from within. So that criticism of the current wars and how they're using our boys overseas, abusing them, manipulating them, controlling them, intimidating them, and then later putting them on surveillance because of the things that they have seen and the things that they might say. What we need to see in America right now is a rise in military veterans willing to say the things that need to be said about how the wars overseas have corrupted their souls. And you don't have to exactly bust a specific person or be a rat per se, because there could be some consequences for that, but you could still enlighten the world to the reality of war crimes, to the reality of the hunting games, not the Hunger Games, the hunting games, where people go overseas and they literally hunt people down that are innocent in these exercises and these expressions of fun, what is considered fun for a degenerate human species that has hunted the last animals, in some cases, into extinction, so now it hunts humans. And we are now living in this world of AI in which people are being led and manipulated by computers, by technologies, and they falsely think that they are woke or awake to the New World Order. They don't know the first thing about compassion. But I think God's going to learn you good, human species. God's going to learn you good, okay? Because you can laugh, you can mock, you can do whatever you want to do and act like evil doesn't exist, and that there are no consequences for your actions when you do the things that you do to other human beings. There are consequences for your actions, and there are a lot of positive things that veterans can do for society if the system would allow it, but the system manipulates people and acts like it cares about veterans and says this is the greatest generation, while it sends people to their fucking death and creates more fucking hate against the American people for people being sent into wars that are being manipulated after stage events like 9/11. Standing against that manipulation and standing for the truth of that day is not standing against the servicemen that fought and died in Afghanistan, okay? So it's not just the Afghanis that matter, it's innocent men, women, children that have been lied to, that didn't know any better because their parents didn't know any better, because their parents bought the official story, because people around them bought the official story, because Zuckerberg, Twitter, and the rest, you think they're truthers, some of you think they're truthers, but they're taking you into hell with this hatred, with the racism, away from the 9/11 truth. Where is the 9/11 truth? Who amongst you is the prominent 9/11 truther on planet Earth today? Do I literally need somebody to hire me to come to Austin, Texas, fly me in to Austin, Texas to megaphone Alex Jones? Is that what this is going to come down to? Is that what you want? Is that what you want? Because if that's what you want, you need to send me an email and we need to talk. Because I'm a great distance away from that man, but I've been there before in 2005. And in 2024 and 2025, I expect to see massive false flag attacks and staged events that turn people against certain people because they're already prepped for it. And even if they don't have a false flag attack, all they have to be told over and over again by the propaganda machine is that Americans are in danger. But not in danger of the right paradigm, not in danger of a military takeover, not in danger of a super state nation invasion. But if they do go that route, they will just blame it on Obama. They will just blame it on Biden. Two individuals which are Satanists and are serving white supremacy. But they are not the only spokes on this wheel of control. And if you think that's how things work here on Earth, that you just vote your way out of the New World Order for a candidate that gets your dick hard, that gets your pussy wet, you're not even awake. You don't even understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. I'm surprised you speak English. You cannot vote your way out of enslavement. and you cannot lead people out of the cage while you are still thinking and acting like you are in a cage. If you want to be free, then you need to respect the freedoms of others, regardless of their religion, regardless of their race, regardless of their attitudes. If you think that if someone's going to express themselves and express their emotions, that they're a leftist snowflake, who the fuck are you? As you sit there all day long and call for murder of Democrats, murder of those you call the left, murder of anyone that doesn't agree with you. And I'm talking to those of you that are under mind control, not those of you that support me. And you need to know the truth. The hater to like ratio is a 95 to 90% support ratio for my work right now. The haters at present are not the majority, and they never ever will be again. Ever again. The haters will never ever again be the majority on this channel. I will not allow it, and God will not allow it. Each and every day I pray to the Creator for true souls that are not corrupted to find me. And I have been contacted now by 3 people that said that they're blown away by my work and found me randomly in the last 3 months. And if they're free of hatred, if they're free of the left-right paradigm, if they're free of an attitude that certain religious people need to be destroyed, if they're of an attitude that certain religions need to be followed and others ignored, then I want nothing to do with them, even if they're rich, even if you're a billionaire. I don't care if you're watching me right now and if you've got $1 billion. Keep your fucking money. I'm not doing this for money, but I need a certain amount of energy to sustain. So for those of you that are real human beings that live in poverty that have donated, because people that are wealthy do not donate. They see people that have nothing and they look down upon them like they did something wrong. And it's not just people that are rich. It's people in Portland, fucking Oregon. It's people around the world that are brainwashed by their own narcissism, by this perception that they really are worth more than other people. And they really will think that their shit doesn't stink. They really will think that they are more talented, that they are superior, that they have the gifts, when in reality, you look at the people in power in Portland, Oregon, and around the world, and you see the true lack of diversity. Despite all this whistleblowing about diversity, the people in control are not diverse. And really, in the end, the people in control need to wake up, McFly. They're not really human. Okay? Even if they want to push a white world order and an ethno-state agenda, all this and more is done to create more suffering and destruction on the planet. It isn't really being done to help white people. You can fast forward 50 years down the line, 100 years down the line, and see some sort of like, blowback against the U.S. Maybe what's coming with China and Russia is years down the line, and it's not tomorrow. But don't think for a second that the evils of this nation, the white supremacy, and the manipulation, and the corruption, is just going to be ignored. Don't assume for a second that the Chinese and the Russians are going to take mercy on the American people and won't kidnap their asses in the event that they come to collect, simply because you like them, simply because you believe that the American system is the most satanic. Okay, having an attitude like that your own government is the most satanic in the world because of information that you read on the internet, is not helping your fellow countrymen survive what is coming. Capiche? I want to take this time and tell you something. I think it's time for those of you that have a strong spiritual center. You don't have to be a professional meditator or a master. You can be a beginner. Secret society is not the word that I'm going to use, but we should be discussing collective manifestation meditations on a symbol. Start with the cross and visualize us at the same time locking into this frequency as a protective symbol. And I don't know much about sigil magic, but I am drawn to the work of Dion Fortune. Okay, I'm feeling called spiritually to at least let you know about her. That during World War II, when Adolf Hitler and his Thule Society were involved in black magic against other white European nations. So much for the superiority of the Nazi ideology when you see what their agenda was and how many people would have been harmed and killed if good old Adolf, who's a hero to so many people today and really exists, I think, as some sort of a thought form, right? If he would have been successful, a lot more people would have been dead. And it's really sad that this is the new daddy of a lot of people. And then if you bring it up and you're aware of it, they'll hate you for having an intelligence to identify their past statements, whether it be on YouTube or Twitter, where they basically admired Adolf Hitler, or those that have that ideology that came after him. So the spirit of Adolf Hitler is alive and well, and the greatest neo-Nazi movement that we have ever had in this nation occurred exactly after, and don't you forget it, September 11th, 2001. What happened in Afghanistan was a neo-Nazi exercise, and they took, you could say, prisoners. That would be men and boys, people that signed up, that maybe wanted to resist later on but couldn't. People that faced maybe jail time or consequences for choosing not to murder. Yeah, I was at the library the other day and I saw another DVD other than that Terror Storm, and it was about conscientious objectors. And I thought about renting it, but I thought to myself, is this like fake news? Where are the conscientious objectors of the war? Where are the peaceful veterans that aren't going to go along with the system, that know that they have served evil, that don't hate those people? Where are they? Where are they? Because they need to emerge now. Adam Kokesh is not a mature, centered, loving, nonpartisan individual. He's leaned to the right plenty of times and has rubbed elbows with Alex Jones and Russia Today. Adam Kokesh has admitted to torture. When I met Adam Kokesh, like with a lot of people, like Mark Phillips, who deprogrammed Kathy O'Brien, a lot of these people look at me like I am the N-word. No offense to those of you that hate the N-word. I hate the N-word too. I'm just illustrating a point to you that people that view people as subhuman, it's not just some black people. It's other people as well, and they're in the conspiracy movement. They're full of fucking shit for not taming their inner shaitan. They're full of fucking shit for allowing the hatred in this world to infect conspiracy theory. Look at me up and down like I'm some sort of a fucking bum. Why don't you go look up and down at the Native Americans whose continent you fucking conquered, motherfuckers. Don't fucking look down on me for looking like an Indian, for living off grid and having long ass hair and taking in the power of the sun. Why don't you wake up and learn something from me? Mark Passio resented me. Mark Passio resented my energy when I was around, truth be told, okay? You're hearing this for the first time. Mark Passio doesn't like Alex Ansary. Tell that mofo that I know that he doesn't like me, okay? He likes people that are lackeys, okay, that look up to him and worship him. In some cases, it seems like he hates his audience. And to hear from this veteran and others, they feel what I feel about Mark. That, dude, we need to do more than just scream and shout and bang our fist and scream for brand new computers and donations. I never did that shit to you folks. I always said only donate when you can help. I never tried to guilt trip you, but there were times, folks, in which I was really hurting in the past, and I really needed your help for either a meal or a place to stay. But in the end, God helped me. In the end, God showed me in recent years that I don't need any of you. And you need to get right with God and understand the truth. I don't need you, and I demonstrated that in the last 3 years. And I didn't have to come back. And I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this because I believe that I told you the truth. And I believe that if I told you the truth and I back out now like a fucking coward, that is not going to impress God. I don't like people that say, God didn't like cowards, when they're cowards themselves and still use pseudonyms, and Gypsy Fox still ain't even using his real given birth name. So dude, why don't you shut the fuck up and take that the people that took the vaccine should die motherfucking shit and go somewhere else, and don't act like you are one of the 1% holy ones for acting like, you know, people need to die. Nobody is connected with God on earth who wants innocent men, women, and children to die, okay? I am going to teach those of you real spirituality. Those of you that are white, those of you that are black, and I got a message for you, those of you that are black that see yourselves as the ultimate victim. Archie, you're the only person of color on this channel. We're not talking to you. We are talking to hardened people that think that everything is about them and their misery and their suffering. And just to communicate with the people in Portland, Oregon, you have your own communities. You have your own people. You have a Black Lives Matter movement. Don't act like people don't care about you. Don't act like there aren't white people out there that believe that your life matters. Your life matters. Other lives matter. Have you ever said Afghan lives matter? Why not? If you harbor racism towards Afghani people, if you're just sitting there going Black Lives Matter, and that goes for a lot of you pretty white people there as well, going stop killing black people, that won't also say stop killing Afghans. What's wrong with some of you that say it's wrong to kill the Palestinians, but you won't protest what's been done to the Afghan people? Don't you understand? You're only protesting, you're only tweeting, you're only YouTubing about how you're heartbroken about Gaza because the system is allowing it. Because they're preparing the clash of civilizations. They're preparing the blowback against America and Israel for what they have done. So don't act like you're fucking awake as they build up the campaign against the U.S. and what's coming. Don't act like it's an awesome thing for us to be blamed for what's going down. They are going to blame the American people for what our government did. Don't you understand that? And so those of you that guilt trip motherfuckers for not voting for Obama and Biden and Trump, don't act like you are so different, you leftists and rightists. You are the same system to me. You are the same political system that has committed genocide in the Middle East. And you Democrats and Republicans have no remorse. Don't act like you're my friend. You cannot act like you're my friend and vote for people that say ban them all, put them in the land. You need God, you need Jesus. Don't act like you are right with Jesus if you have not made a stance against the Satanists of our day and age. Do not act like you're a Christian if you don't have the balls to stand up to the devil. God bless you all. May Jesus help you see.